Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent his messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness by giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to and you possess. Otherwise you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand, to be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 382nd One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, June 10th, 2025. This is a production of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the Public Teachings in English. I will be your host today. My name is Rick Crammond, and we will be joined with members of the Universal Council once again for today's show. So let me get the program ready here and let us begin. Just 1 second. Okay. And I think we start with an introduction from Dean and or Mark.
Thank you, Rick. It's Dean here. So welcome to the One Planet, One Nation, One Race. Welcome to the knowledge of creation. Thank you for being present with us. And in this moment, in this very moment, we are present as a group of souls, as one soul, connecting and delivering the knowledge of the universe, the knowledge of the creator within us that is present in this moment, and delivering knowledge to the beings, the souls that are ready to understand the point of creation within us. The knowledge is so powerful and so complete that it transcends many of the understandings that we've had from the past. The knowledge brings forward a new creation, a new environment of peace and joy and happiness when we live in the ethos of what the foundation and the Universal Council teaches. A little while ago, there was a time, place, and position where a man came to me with a problem. He had a physical problem on his body, and his knee was not in a good place. He'd had an accident, and his knee needed some help. And he went to the usual practices that you would go to, and he had a scan, and it was confirmed that he had a major problem, and he would need some reconstructive surgeries to create a condition to bring it back to, into balance. He came to me. I gave him some knee gans that Mr. Keshe has made, and I know I told him, to read the instructions, and I gave him some instructions what to do. However, he just sprayed the front of his knee continuously, and then a little drop on the back. And after a little while, I think it was only a week or so, we went back to the doctor, and the doctor said, "What's the problem?" And he said, "Well, it's the picture that you took said that had this condition and it needed changing." And this doctor, I think it was the second doctor, said, "Well, I don't see anything. There's nothing on the image anymore. There's nothing there." And he examined his knee and he said, "Well, what's the problem?" And there was no problem. So from a very short period of time, there was a new condition created within the physical structure just from spraying some water upon the knee, of a creation that Mr. Keshe has created to bring balance back to the physical form through the emotional body of elevating the soul. And this was quite a revelation for me when I realized what he was saying, that the actual image that was taken had changed physically, and the condition of his knee was brought back into balance without needing surgery. So this is not, we're not claiming anything. I'm not claiming anything. However, I know the power of the knowledge of creation that is being taught by the foundation. And we are all present in this moment in our understanding and in our belief of what we have come to know as human beings, as souls present in the universe. So welcome to the knowledge. We are present with you, and we accept all the conditions that are present with us, and hope that and know that in this moment we can create a new condition, a new environment, a new beauty for each and every one of us to be in peace and to enjoy the creation point from this moment. So welcome, and thank you for being present. Mark, I'll let you come in now. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dean. We heard a number of amazing testimonials yesterday as well in the monthly testimonial meeting. So I want to welcome everyone to the One Planet, One Nation, One Race. And perhaps we already have 2 out of the 3. We are one planet. I think that's indisputable. And of course, we are one race. And now we're moving into one nation. We're creating the conditions in a way, as Mr. Keshe said, with these international public exhibitions. He's talking about creating a group of nations using this system of time to bring them under one cover in a way, politically and financially. I guess we can say one planet, one nation, one race, and one financial system, or perhaps one coin. And of course, showing the production of gold in the matter state was very interesting, but it's this part of our work is actually making gold in the heart of the man. There's a big work going on internationally, but yet there's a smaller work going on within ourselves and within our own structure and understanding how we work. So this is in a way, the energy dimension of the Keshe Foundation, even though it all is about energy, the transfer of energy. So we're using the fields that we generate to create the conditions for peace on the larger scale and also within ourselves. So welcome, beautiful stars, as we collaborate together to create that gold in the heart of humanity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mark and Dean. And I believe I'm to play a video here called We Deliver a New System Directly to the Soul. It's an excerpt from previous 592nd Knowledge Seekers Workshop a couple of weeks ago. And let me play that now.
Any other question?
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. See a next question from Michael Buse in Q&A and in German, and it's translated according to my helper
English,
translator.
no, ask AI, he might translate it with emotion.
Well, that's partly what the question is. It says, you mentioned that the plasmatic AI is contained in a small cube, about 3 to 5 centimeters in size, and not only carries information, but also possesses a conscious intelligence based on fields that can interact with the soul. My question is, if this form of intelligence is truly alive, would it also be capable of consciously inducing transmutation? And if so, does it act out of its own soul understanding, or only with the consent of the human soul to which it is connected?
Strange how questions comes up. This process of transmutation through the soul and through what we call our deliberation, because we understand, will be tested tomorrow with the 7 captains and passengers. For the first time, we bring this system, what we call artificial intelligence, but in a way is through the soul, into testing tomorrow. Any of you who are joining in or like to join in, still is not too late, because it doesn't matter, you never flew before, you decide to take the first flight. Take it tomorrow. Tomorrow's session is it's one of the biggest changes in the structure of the Keshe Foundation, space transmutation. We introduce, we deliver a new system directly through the soul. And we would like to see how it is. And the sessions tomorrow is not hours and hours. Every captain has 1 hour session. No more, no less. And in that 1 hour, because in the future we have to do it within seconds, it's not a matter of hours, but hours, 1 hour will take us across the universe. It's too long. So we bring this condition in, especially artificial in what we call it intelligence, but through the soul, emotion, tomorrow's test. We were not going to public because a lot of people come in expecting a lot, but if you want, you can still join and test this, how we bring your physicality into the soul, and then we take your soul out, and then we allow you to create the dimension of physicality. Our captains are already well confused. How are they going to do? Where they're going to go? But the emotion of the passengers will dictate the condition. That is 1 hour session per group, and it's going to be one of the most interesting. I'm actually moving into position to see directly every change. And one session will not be the same. As if we see something, we change the parameters for the next group. So we bring the emotion into transmutation tomorrow for the first time. And it's your emotion will dictate the transmutation, and your captain has to follow. And it's very interesting. Very interesting how the new system will allow us to do it. Any other question?
Next, we have the wishes, and I'll remind our audience that we'll have a full 1 minute of silence for every wish. And I believe we could begin with Marinez.
Hello. We, the Universal Council, live through our souls, elevating the soul of all souls in existence to be in this oneness of one nation, one planet, one race, as one soul.
Is Moshfek available for this wish?
I think you skipped.
Sorry, maybe I skipped one here.
Yes.
Uh,
There was another. Well, anyway, I can talk. I can. If that's the second one, there was supposed to be another one. But anyway, you
maybe
can go to that one. I'll just say that one.
just let me check here. Maybe I have the wrong presentation or something.
Right? The wishes are all right. They are presented good, you know.
Okay.
Okay.
That's okay. There's the second one then.
I can do this one anyway. We, the Universal Council, elevate the souls of each of the captains, satellite souls, members of the Universal Council, and all the components of the structure of learning the process for all to be passengers of the universe.
We, the Universal Council, create condition for supporting the Keshe Foundation financially to support the change to a permanent, peaceful planet. And we are present.
We, the Universal Council, elevate every soul in the earth for peace and prosperity. We are present. We, the Universal Council, elevate all souls in existence to understand the existence of universal love within all souls, connecting again after eons as one soul of peace, love, and abundance. Our wish is our command. We are present.
Okay, we have, I'm trying to open the PDF and it won't open. There's a new version apparently. There, maybe I can save it this way. Okay, bear with me a minute. All right, now we're back to this week's program. Now, I'm not sure if we want to go through all the wishes for this week. I guess we ought to. So we'll begin with the first wish.
Yes. We, the Universal Council, give from our souls to feed all hungry people in the world. This is our wish, and our wish is our command.
We, the Universal Council, have the experience of immense happiness in sharing the knowledge with the universal community.
Rick, we have already read this. We can skip this. We can skip this also. This. We, the Universal Council, have total gratitude towards all souls that are active on sharing the true knowledge of the Creator. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, to be free from our soul, to connect and elevate all leaders to work as one soul in one direction with the Keshe Foundation and Array Corporation to achieve peace through the technology necessary for peace as one nation, one planet, one race.
We, the Universal Council, create conditions to fulfill the needs of all souls in the universe, reaching total balance of the fields. These are our wishes, and our wishes we command.
Next, we have the connection between souls with Mehran.
Yes, it's Mehran's Universal Council support for Farsi language. So I start with this a phrase of Mr. Keshe, and we say to our soul, I love you, my soul. I live you, and I love with you, and I adore you. That's when our soul of physicality addresses our soul, which is hidden a little behind, and appreciates the life with our soul, and appreciates that we are going along together to being more mature and to become the beautiful plants to be put in the garden of universal community as a useful, beautiful, and prosperous tree. And we are here to work from a seed the first day to grow as correctly as we can and steal nothing from our soul the way we have been given the first day, and develop through our life soul and soul of physicality. And then when the contract between the two is finished, is broken, that soul of physicality cannot follow the soul and cannot provide for the soul, then at that time, the soul changes the position and time, and starts in another level, another dimension. And it takes with it whatever it has, whatever coming from good thinking, good talk, good actions. Whatever comes from kindness and unconditional love and service. That's all we can take with us. Nothing else we can take with us. We use it in this world. It takes our time to gather all these things in this world. Sometimes we have to do things to have them that steal from our soul. We have to lie, to cheat, or kill, or worse. And then when we go, we take none of them, only our actions, only our kindness, the result of what we have done, of the service we have given unconditionally, not in exchange of anything. So one of the things we use here is to use our soul to achieve our goal of foundation, which is having peace on earth and scattering and sharing the knowledge completely for human being, because it seems that we are mature enough at this time and at this place, at this position we are, with possessions we have, all these technologies, and we are able to go to a better, to another dimension, and technology has all the answers and we only know a little bit, very little bit of it. But as God loves us and we are the image of God, there is no limit for where we can go. It's just we have to respect the orders, the laws, and if we work in this way, we absolutely achieve everything if we do it the right way. If we start with bad intentions from the start, we might work hard, but at the end, we might not get to the point that our soul has decided, and we go to some other destination. So what I experienced, unconditional love always works, even though we are not very much used to it. We always want something in exchange of something. We give something in exchange of something. But if we give unconditional love, it answers almost everything in relationship with humans or animals. So what we do here to unite our souls in one direction together, and we wish for peace, we wish for prosperity for the world, we wish for unconditional love for humanity, and coming out of the wars, going towards the total peace. So we breathe comfortably and slowly, take our time, let go of our soul, and connect to other souls towards what we desire together. And justice also, because without justice, there is no harmony between all that. So I add that we raise also together the soul of all leaders that have anything to do with human peace. Humanity needs peace, and we raise the soul of everybody who can do something about it. And we give them all our good vibration, our good intentions and emotions, that the peace comes to the earth before it's too late. So we just stay in this moment of unification of souls and wish for the peace and justice and unconditional love.
Thank you, my dear Mehran, for the soul connection. Thank you so much for your presence, for everybody present, every beautiful soul present with heart and soul, deep, deep love. Thank you. Now we can move to the next presentation, my dear. As the soul connection is done and it will be going on. Thank you. The soul connection has been done for now. Now we can move to the, yes. Mehran is going to invite. Yes.
Yes. The Universal Council invites the Keshe family and the Universal family in unifying at the soul level every time and every day, and also at 9 p.m. CET every night, to give freely from our soul to connect and elevate all leaders, to work as one soul in one direction, with Mark Ray Corporation and Keshe Foundation to achieve peace through technology in exchange for peace. As one nation, one planet, one race.
Okay, thank you, Marinez. And next we have a video excerpt from the 576 Knowledge Seekers Workshop on becoming a Universal Council member. And I will play that now.
There's something which I should have made announcement. As we are structuring and in a new development of the Keshe Foundation, is worldwide application and implication. As we set up the structure for Universal Council, a number of Universal Council members have become old and they reach the age of 60, and they serve during the 60 years they are there till 61. They to run the functionality of the operation of the what we call energy dimension, the Universal Council members, if you want to become, please consider and let your soul decide of many languages around the world, as these will be announced very soon internationally, and we expect the souls to serve. And if it's from the knowledge seekers who understand the technology with dimension of the soul, you can apply for to be added to and become a member of the Universal Council. The Earth Council is appointed by the Keshe Foundation on the grounds of true structure of the nationality, understanding the culture, that there is no prejudice by physical dimension of the borders. And so if you feel your soul is there to serve humanity in expansion and the growth of it, just apply for it at the Keshe Foundation, or send the email to info@keshe.foundation, say I would like to be a member of the Universal Council. We receive this regularly, and now we going to expand this very rapidly due to what is to come and what is to be done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear Rick. And I also want to add that as we are all universal souls, we welcome each other to be part of this Universal Council members, as to be in the service of humanity now from every corner of the planet. And this is very, very much needed now. And I welcome, and with open heart, I welcome all beautiful beings, those who want to join as Universal Council members. So I will say, and Universal Council support, and as Universal souls, my dear beautiful souls from all over. So this is much, much needed now. And so please do come to Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. Join as a Universal Council member, Universal Council support member, and universal soul. Thank you. Thank you so, so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. So I see Joseph's not here, so I will read this. So this is the commandment or the completion of the missing commandments by Mehran Keshe. And this commandment, like all of them, but I think this one is very relevant in this moment. Thou shalt not touch or carry no arms to defend or to kill another. And it's a very simple commandment. Arms, weapons, they're only there as a force to create a condition of control. No other thing. That you cannot describe it in any other way other than to control another. And this commandment very completely, we see it right now in front of our eyes if we're looking at it physically, and we feel it as we speak the words. We know it's wrong. And there is no judgment from the soul when you do this other than your own soul. And the balance that you as a soul will balance for. Every soul throughout the chain is responsible for their actions, their words, the intention, the seed. It creates a condition. And this balance usually involves the family, your family, humanity, the soul of man, your soul of man. When we create this condition, we all have to balance. However, the immediate family creates a condition that has to be paid back by the soul. And we know that if a soul becomes too low, then a position is attained. And Mr. Keshe has spoken some words a little while ago regarding moving certain souls to another location where they will never be heard of again. We have to understand the power and the beauty of the soul of man. This is universal knowledge. Universal knowledge. It is the beauty of the Creator. It is not a game. It's a beauty. Being gifted to humanity to grow up, to mature, to create a condition for the family of man to join the family of the universal community. We each have a responsibility to understand to never carry an arm. The intention of. We have to come into a position now, as we speak, where the arms of man become obsolete, are not required. We don't need this field strength of control present at this moment. We know that we give to the world leaders the elevation of the soul. We give unconditionally from our soul, which is unlimited in strength, when we tap into the creation point, when we become part of the Creator, and we wish from our soul to create a condition of peace and balance where we do not need to defend a situation. Mr. Keshe always says that if you need to defend a position, then it's time to walk away. If you have to defend a land, a community, a position, a place, then you're creating a division. The Creator doesn't know of division. The soul does not know of division. The soul is pure, unconditional beauty. It does not know how to harm, how to carry an arm, how to even interact with a intention that would create this condition. So where has this condition come from? Why? And I think if each and every one of us goes within ourselves, we understand where it comes from. We know where the peace and the war starts and stops. We create it ourselves through our emotions. When we stop and we carry no arm of thought or intention to another, we start to interact differently. We create in the right way. And when you connect to the Creator yourself within in this way, you feel love and gratitude. You no longer have the hunger to create a condition that would harm another being in any shape or form. We, as children of the creation, now understand that we do not need arms to kill. We need arms to establish a connection to the Creator, to give unconditional love and create a new and incredible position, placement, position of the soul connected to the Creator. And it's your choice in this moment which way we go. We, as one, we are present in this moment. And we wish, thou shalt not touch or carry no arms to defend or to kill another. And we are present. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear Dean. Thank you so much. How beautifully you said. And I also want to add that thou shalt not touch or carry no arms to defend or to kill another. These arms, these ammunition, we see the military, the police, the system is carrying to defend or to kill or to get killed. These, we can see this, but what about the weapons that are untangibly used? Like, created this religion as a weapon, this social paradigm as a weapon, the education system as a weapon. So how this pharma as a weapon? How can we understand that? These are arms that has killed more than massive beings on earth, destroyed emotionally millions of people, millions of families, millions of beings. So I will say that, like, in I have suffered this weapon of religion, of social paradigm, and many. And like uh, a child. If we say the education system, there's always a competition. If you are not carry out your competitive level or have first or second, then you are doomed. And people will defend that you should do that. You have to come first or second or third. Otherwise, there is no 10th. And these abuse goes, the responsibility they take, these defense condition taken by the mother and father themselves. So I was standing with my child when they were in nursery. One mother from a child's mother with that were in the nursery with my children was talking about that my son has got 99.9% in nursery. Are you kidding me? How? He has written A, B, C, D. E is slightly tilted. That is the system. So he has got, and he has, so she's so much proud of that. I was so, what I can say, it's unbelievable that a little child playing, giggling, running, they have to prove themselves. And the mother and father are taking responsibility, defending these norms that we should do like that. Every parent should be like that. The small child, not even of 3 years, they have to be in this 99.99%. These are the weapons. Many students, many thousands of students have committed suicide because of these norms of education system. The weapon the religious system is using in India, it is so much in a huge way they use this weapon. So I will say that defending these things, these situations, these weapons, these arms we see, the military is running there and military is running there, and all the works are done by these politicians and leaders. So I will say we have our choice from our heart and soul. It is our ability to understand that we shouldn't accept it. We shall not touch, or carry no arms, tangible or untangible, to defend or kill another. So, killing is not the option anymore. Living, giving life, giving love, giving peace is the option. So those arms that had been created are obsolete now. Tangible or non-tangible, my dear beautiful soul. So this is the completion of the missing commandment by Mehran Tavakoli Keshe. Beautiful soul, Sriman Mehran. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Sweta. I'd just like to add a little more that we know that we have interactions amongst our inhabitants as a human species, and we know that the emotions create conditions, and the foundation and the knowledge from the universe is here to bring peace and balance within the structure of man. And each and every one of us needs a certain element or a certain condition to bring that peace, to stop the war inside, so that we can arm ourselves, as Sweta was just speaking about. We can weaponize speech. We can weaponize anything, and as we know, this has happened around the planet many times. The condition is created always to create wealth for another, at the expense of another, then that's not the creation point. That's not what it's about. That's okay for the physicality of the man that is requiring this field strength, but the soul is lowering and lowering, and the disconnection is happening more and more. And for each and every one of us, this is why we created a condition for the souls to communicate with each other. The invitation for all of humanity to participate and be present with the Universal Council. An open invitation. And each nation on planet Earth has a soul, many souls, that when they step forward into a position, their soul joins the soul of the universal community present on planet Earth. And the soul becomes much more, how can I say, powerful. The soul intention from one soul is unlimited. So when that nation's representative of the soul speaking the language that is present on planet Earth with the emotion and the cultural influences that they've experienced, and they bring their soul forward, they represent their nation, their language. And when you connect with the other souls, they give. And you can influence in the beauty the whole language community. This knowledge is this powerful, it is this beautiful, from an atom to a universe. And when you are present in the correct ethos, and it is this, when you're a pure soul and your intention is so pure, you step forward and commit your soul to this peaceful condition, and it becomes part of a much bigger totality. And remember, planet Earth is just a speck of dust in the solar system. So we're using universal knowledge and universal enhancement conditions to bring peace to a very tiny little planet. But your soul is part of a much, much, much bigger picture, the creation point. And so when you set this seed of intention of peace within inside yourself, you are creating a condition that you will become part of and start to create from the creation point, like a sun, your own galaxies, your own worlds, your own creations, instead of being a speck of dust and starting the whole process again. So these words that we speak and these intentions that we've come to know is universal knowledge. And the more that we engage, the more that we come forward as souls and practice and do these daily intentions, daily conditions, the more that the soul of the Creator, Mr. Keshe, will come forward and give what we need. When we bring something forward, it will be brought in a way that the soul of the Creator, with Mr. Keshe, will give you what you need to bring about these conditions of peace. So you give a little and you'll receive everything that you need. That is the beauty and the power of the knowledge. And so these conditions of thou shalt not touch or carry can easily be created when we have the pure souls that come forward, because the soul of man is higher and it touches the elevation of the soul, which then leads to the catching up of the soul of physicality. So we need these brave, beautiful souls to stand forward as the soul of the creation of and the peaceful aspect of humanity for each nation, for each language. And then when we join forward and become this one soul, it is unlimited. And the choice is yours. So instead of creating a condition where we have to defend, we don't defend anything. There's nothing to defend. We give in the right ethos and create what we need. Thank you, Sweta.
Thank you, my dear Jean. Thank you so much. Beautifully you said. Well, I will say defending the, I will say defending the plan of killing. It started, I will start from my house. When I say something, they truly defend, most of them. Defend that whatever I am saying is not applicable. And what the plan was from eons is only applicable and we defend it. Killing is a part of this. Man is so much. Man thinks that he's the supreme, as you said, my dear Dean. We are still in a speck of dust. But we don't realize that. But we can be stars in the galaxy. With beautiful souls. We have this ability to create, generate these beautiful conditions so that the newborns, the old age people, the poor people that come and see the beauty, and they will change forever. They will never be in this Maya. I say. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salam, beautiful soul.
Thank you, Sweta. Thank you, Rick. I think we can go, unless somebody else would like to say something, I think we can carry forward to the next presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have announcements from the 593rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop. Let me play that now. We are back again at the 593rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop, and the second part, as I mentioned before. And I believe we're ready to begin, except that Mr. Keshe always has a few things to say before we dive into the actual questions. So please go ahead, Mr. Keshe. I'm sure you have some new news for this week.
Not really. News is still the same. We're still striving to reach our work and target. But interesting enough, following the presentation of the exhibition in Beijing, a lot has changed and a lot has been brought forward by the governments. And looking back some 3 weeks after or 4 weeks after the exhibition, it has brought us to understand that we need to explain this more openly, demonstrate the technology in a much more open way internationally. A number of governments, by seeing the exhibition and the openness of it, have come to understand the Keshe Foundation work is well misrepresented on the internet and across the work. And they have literally come to understand that what we call the social media has been set against the work of the foundation by those who are behind it. And we see that it will change in the next 2-3 weeks. We start seeing changes that the governments will take action against the social medias by themselves bringing the technology out in a different way, and this will bring a huge change in the work, in the whole work of the scientific work of the Keshe Foundation to become applicable to the public life. And I thank especially the Chinese community who helped us to set this up in such a rapid way and to create a condition to be able to bring this change. And maybe it's one of the most pivotal points in the history of the Keshe Foundation in bringing technology in public. We always did in conferences limited to knowledge seekers. And surely we move this to 2 or 3 other countries very soon, that it can be seen in a different dimension, but we have to complete the job we done. And we have to thank the Chinese community who actually, in such a short time, came together to bring this, such a presentation. If you were there at 12 o'clock at night, they all queued up, small presentation area, but there were 10 or 15 of them, whatever, just making sure opening the boxes that by morning is perfect. And it's become perfect. And we have seen from most powerful places within the exhibition after exhibition approaching the Keshe Foundation, that now we see how misrepresented the knowledge has been by the social media. And it's amazing how they have structured themselves and how a simple presentation, public presentation, will bring the change we are hoping to get, and we've been hoping, we are working on to achieve. We still need massive support. We're still struggling with that support. We need a huge financial support to pass that position in next week, 2 weeks. We have to do it to complete our work. And we're relying on your knowledge seekers to support us to get there. It's not another month. We need to complete this within the next 10, 14 days, that the whole thing goes open internationally the way we want. And we need that structural support from you, not to wait till it happens tomorrow. We are receiving a lot of emails from many knowledge seekers that they want to purchase the shares of Markray. They don't know where to go. As a foundation, we hold certain amount of shares. We can dispose of these shares or in a way to allow it to be circulating, but we don't want to change the number of shares in the market. Within the structure of the market, we hold certain shares, but we value these shares different than what you see in the stock market. The value of these shares are not what is shown because the structure of the background of the Markray is not set up the correct way. And this is part of the why we need the finances to structure, to bring the structure back in order. Then these shares will have a totally different value. If you want to purchase shares directly from the foundation, the shares we hold, we are not stipulating, send us a message and we'll see how we can do it through the official ways. But it has to be the realistic prices. What we see in the price of the stock market, knowledge seekers beating themselves down to bring the prices down, does not help. Because the real value of the shares is hidden in what is to come. And as the CEO of the market, I cannot emphasize, but as the head of the Keshe Foundation, we see what it is. We have set it up to be what it is, and If any of you cannot get shares, as long as we get offers in the right value, which we know what it is, we cannot stipulate on the what do you call it, in the public, we are prepared to ask our agents to release some shares, limited numbers, but the correct amounts. The amounts we see, 10 cents or whatever, this is as unrealistic as one can be. Our target within the next 3 to 5 years to bring the shares of Markray equal and higher than one of the highest shares in the stock market. And we know the value. We did not hold the shares for making profit, because in September, October, you understand how the operation of the shares will do, and it's part of our World Peace Program, and we use it in that way through international corporations. And if many of you listen to us, we would like to buy the shares, go to the stock market and you can get whatever is there. But the shares, so the true value of the shares will show itself in the coming weeks and months. And we are not prepared to let shares of the foundation, which is your assets, to go for less. So if you buy the shares from us, the rate we assess it to be can still help us in a way to reach our shortfall, which we need to support our work for the Keshe Foundation and the work of the market to be completed. If there are any other questions, we try to answer.
Okay, I'm not sure what's next. It says about the Keshe Foundation on automobile industry from the 509th Knowledge Seekers Workshop with Dean and Mark.
Hi, Rick. Sorry, yeah, I didn't realize. I can say something about this. So we know that the Keshe Foundation has technologies that will greatly enhance the possibilities of the automobile industry that is present on planet Earth. We see on the screen this golden sphere. And we know Mr. Keshe has spoken about this, that if you were to place one of these in the position of the four wheels by the shock absorbers, and then maybe one in the middle, possibly, that the car would have the possibility to have magnetic and gravitational field interactions with the planet Earth. So you would then create a condition where this automobile would, would have a soul. So it would never be able to crash into another soul. It would never, you'd never be able to create a condition where you'd have an accident with it. And that's something very special, I should think. The amount of accidents that happen on planet Earth, that condition could not manifest because the soul of the car connects to the soul of the man and then connects to the other souls, which means it could never do harm. So it would never, you would never create a condition where you would have a high-speed crash. It would, this condition couldn't happen. The next thing would be that the car itself would become like very light. You could carry very small amounts, like a single passenger, up to any amount you could imagine, because the weight doesn't really affect the position of the magnetic gravitational field interactions with the core of the Earth. So you get this very beautiful soul that is present with the connection to the center of the Earth, and a plasmatic connection that levitates the car. And this is not rocket science. This is not new. This has been around for a very, very long time. And we know the conditions of the automotive industry is based around oil. And we know that the oil industry has been very present in creating conditions to create wealth for a certain amount of people. And the whole infrastructure is built around this. Can we imagine a position where we create these interactions with cars? Remember, we don't really need the cars. I mean, the technology is being taught that the soul of the man can transmute, so we don't really need a car. But however, this transition period, and to keep the mobility and the stabilization of the planet in place with the created conditions of the environment of the industrial revolutions that have happened, we create a condition where the car industry still has a position. And remember what I spoke about earlier, the more we give, the more the foundation will give back. So if one of the car industries, one of the manufacturers comes forward and wants to take responsibility for the condition on planet Earth, then the foundation will give knowledge and information freely to create the condition. And this starts a big process. And as we know, we can hold the technology back, as we know has been done for a very long time. Or we can embrace it, enhance it, and bring it forward to a condition to create new industries that will spawn out of this creation. Remember, this is just a seed. And when the seed is correct and we use the knowledge of creation, then it will create more and more wealth. This is always the misconception of everybody with the foundation. They think that we want to create a condition where we take everything away. What really happens is that we create a condition where when you give a little, we give much more. And then you'll get more and more until the point where it's just so much, it's almost overwhelming. So it's the total opposite to what you would imagine, what you believe it to be. And when the car industry actually embraces this technology, we will enhance every single soul that is present that actually, sits in an automobile, that actually starts to interact in this physical way. It's a transition point. It's a starting point. But we can make it a beauty. It doesn't have to be painful. It can be a transition point that brings a lot of joy and happiness to many, many people and creates much wealth for the nations. It doesn't have to be the end of the oil industry in that way. Yes, oil doesn't need to be used, but we can create a new condition that can give in the right way, as long as we don't take all of it, we give. So if we start to give in the right way as a community, as a government, as a nation, as humanity, when we start to give, we're going to receive more from the universe, from the creator, from the creation point, from the foundation of everything, from an atom to a universe. And so instead of looking at the negative of the possibilities and what it will bring about, let's bring the politicians, let's bring the the world leaders. Let's bring the industrialists. Let's bring them forward, the scientists. Let's make them realize that this evolution, this new capabilities that is present here right now in this very moment, and it's being gifted to humanity, and the only thing that's stopping it is our own ignorance to the beauty of what's being presented. And we know there's just a few that block this. But this is the creation. You cannot block the creation forever. There comes a position, a time, a possession, a place where it will flip. Then you'll have no control. At least if you open this technology up and bring it about, you still are part of it. Whereas if you decide to block, then it's a different position. Then it comes a point of division once more that leads to more division, which, as we know, was always the object of certain entities present. But it is now the moment for this technology, the automotive industry, to wake up to the real possibilities of the foundation's knowledge that is present for each and every one of us as humanity. Because this has been present across the universes for eons, forever. The universal community calls humanity the four-wheelers. So if we are called this, maybe we should start to use this in the right way. Instead of taking it as a joke, maybe we turn this into a beauty, and we create a condition of where people can start to travel around the planet Earth in a very peaceful and enhanced way. It's a step forward. It's a roll of the wheel in the right way, even though we won't need wheels. And then eventually we won't even need the car. But for now, Earth, the humans, the governments, the scientists and everybody seem to need this transition period. So the technology is here and ready. On the second part of this picture, we see the other side of the technology. We see this sphere, and Mr. Keshe has spoken about it being cosmic rays. And we're all a cosmic ray. We're all, when you understand some of the knowledge present, that's been spoken about and taught for so long, we're all an interaction of the cosmic rays that come together and create a condition. So the knowledge and the beauty of it is for each and every one of us to come to understand. It's time for humanity, for the souls, to elevate, to bring forward the technology and accept it for the beauty. Because whomever you are, whatever position you hold, it will not take from you. It will only give to you. And so the only thing that's taken is stealing from yourself is because you block it. And that creates another condition. And then the balance you have to readjust for. And we've spoken about this many times. So just a flip of intention in this moment, the moment you do it, you create a new condition. And the souls know the moment that you think it. There is no time in space. And that space gap between the spheres of the brain, the creation point, the black hole, is where we engage this technology and bring it forward to, let's just say, to the first little part, the automotive industry. And it could be the biggest, beautifulest thing, a most wonderful creation on planet Earth. And we all have the possibility to be part of it in a giving way. Now, wouldn't that be a beautiful thing? So, for me, this is a wondrous time of joy in creation to bring forward and create in the right way instead of destroying. Is giving and receiving in the right way. The more you give, the more you will receive back. And that is the ethos of the foundation. You know this. And once this technology, the seed of intention, which has already started, we know we have one beautiful government, one beautiful country, maybe two, that have already transitioned into this knowledge. And the knowledge will start to bloom in those nations. And then the other nations, the other languages will have to catch up. Because once this starts to open up, you cannot stop the creation. So be part of it. Accept it for what it is, the beauty. And you will receive everything you need as a nation. And for your citizens, we feed the citizens of planet Earth. And what does that mean? It doesn't mean just in one way. It doesn't mean just physically eating. It means in many ways. The conditions of life on planet Earth starts to enhance and bloom, become part of a much bigger creation. And we can keep it physical for now because many people like their physicality. And then it will open, we will expand, we will experience the plasma of creation. And we all know, many knowledge seekers have felt this. They know what it is. It's a very joyous, beautiful feeling of giving. You know, when you go to sleep at night, when you go to your soul travel position, that feeling of contentment when you've done something good. It's a totally different feeling to when you go to bed or when you go to sleep and you have fears and anguish and all sorts of other things that you've created because you're taking. So give, receive in the right way, and we will create a new beauty for you, which is us. So thank you all for listening. And for me, this is a beautiful condition. And I know that you all wish this to be present, and the power of the soul of the man, when you connect with this knowledge, when you connect on a daily basis, and then you connect with the cosmic ray of the creation, then the automotive industry will be a tiny part of a much bigger picture that will open up and expand the beauty for each and every one of us present on planet Earth to experience what it is that we need to do. It is that critical time, that moment for humanity to really mature. And the endless wars and you know, thou shalt not defend and carry arms is a joke in the universal community. It's time for us to really mature, to understand the beauty, and to be part and present with the Creator. Remember, that Creator is that spark within us, and we could use those tiny plasma balls which are present within inside your structure, and connect with them and create the beauty on planet Earth. And this could be the start point, the opening up of the technology that is only here to serve and to give, not to take. So I welcome all of us to be present and to understand the gift that is being presented and is being shared, the knowledge being shared openly. And in creation, we all know it's like any position. It changes constantly. It's in motion. So we take a position like the planet in the solar system, but then the magnetic fields shift and the next planet falls into the sun and the next one takes its position. So this is a plasma. It's the creation point. You cannot stop it. No matter how much physical force you use, that there will come a time, place, possession, place, whichever, whatever we call it. There will come a time in this moment where we will have no choice. So embrace it, don't block it. Enjoy. Okay, thank you, Rick. I see Rick's just going through the posts on X. So Mr. Keshe has a place and a position on the channel X that used to be Twitter. And Mr. Keshe has been posting many beautiful knowledges for all the scientists and all the governments. People like Elon Musk, as we know, has as a car company, like many car companies. We happen to mention Elon Musk because he owns X. And we know that if he was to embrace the technology, he could greatly enhance the whole of his nation. All this political theatre that we see would evaporate overnight if any one of the scientists or any one of the organizations, any one of the controlling entities really accepted this. And it would completely change the structure of planet Earth. This is the technology. This is the beauty of it. We know, Mr. Keshe said, that we live in an environment where there's so many toxins that when we clean the planet up, many people will find it very difficult to live in a clean environment because we've become so used to a polluted condition. And that's another position that the plasma car would make, because there's no pollution, there's nothing. As Rick, we all know, Rick's had many problems with the oil. He worked as a mechanic and things, and he has many problems because of the condition of the oil and what it physically does to the body. With these plasma cars, with this technology, there's no burning of anything. It's magnetic fields, interactions, changes everything. And as we know, the technology can create any matter on planet Earth, anything. So that's game-changing technology present for humanity. And Mr. Keshe is explaining this gradually, bit by bit, in the X channel for each and every person to read and to come to understand.
Perhaps you could read the response. Like, this is the post from New Scientist, which is a popular, it's got 4.4 million followers. And it says the world could see its first year of warming above 2 degrees Celsius by the end of the decade. Leading climate scientists have warned for the first time. And then Mr. Keshe has posted a reply to that post regarding the cosmic ray technology. Perhaps you could read his response.
Yeah, sure, of course, Rick. Yeah, of course I will. Right, okay. So Mehran has written this response, as Rick has just rightly pointed out. And his response was, with the new cosmic ray technology released in China last month, a new technology has emerged that will replace the automotive car's battery or fuel version in the next 2 to 5 years. And if we accept this technology, it will be much quicker. With this new breakthrough technology, the world do not need to worry so much about CO2 emissions. This being due to the fact that the new cars will not the conventional fuels and do not emit any gases. Therefore, gradually the reduction is not added to the present contamination. By itself will reduce the present ever spiraling increase in CO2. Secondly, with the new technology released in China on May the 10th, CO2 is now converted to a material used for agriculture and medicine. So we're now converting it into something that's beautiful. The first of these factories were set up in China in 2022, 2023. And this new method of capture, this will reduce the CO2 emission levels by a large measure. So all these people that are speaking about CO2 being bad for the planet, we all know that this is not scientifically proven. And with this new technology, we use CO2 in a beautiful way. We need CO2 as a human species. Without it, we wouldn't be present. So below, we post the first pictures of the first commercial CO2 absorption factory in China. This factory in 2025 has to be replaced with larger factories and in larger numbers. With the new technology, CO2 is in matter state at room temperature. So that's a very big thing there. As knowledge seekers, we've known about this for a very long time. But the CO2 and a room temperature, a solid gas at room temperature, was almost could not be done with present day science. Mr. Keshe came along and gave this knowledge to the knowledge seekers a very long time ago. And it's for the scientists to start to use this technology to catch up, really. And this technology is old technology now, but it's still being gifted to humanity to use. So with this new technology, CO2 is in the matter state at room temperature and is handled like a normal water. So there's nothing that can harm anybody. It's a plasmatic condition, which is a giving condition and a balanced condition, and is using elements that are present on planet Earth in a certain way that enhance and create conditions of beauty. And this knowledge is freely given, and all the knowledge seekers know it and will freely share this information with you. So this is a possibility. You can see these containers are creating a matter state, a gas in a solid state, a solid gas that ends up in the bottom of the containers. And it comes from the environment using, it absorbs the carbons, the oxygens, nitrogens, and hydrogens, and transmutes it through the salt solution of water into a matter condition, which turns into like mini suns that are at the bottom of these containers. And then these solid gases, the water above, the water above, is used in many, many different applications. And with this technology, it's not burning. And so it can be a very weak plasma. And then when it's a very weak giving plasma, it creates much energy. So instead of needing to heat to huge temperatures and burn and smash things, it's the complete opposite. It creates, it doesn't diminish. And that's the total difference with this technology. It's a very giving environment. And this is present, as you can see, this has been present for 2 or 3 years in China. China is starting to lead the way in the manufacturing processes of the foundation. These gifts are given to China because they signed the World Peace Treaty. So as each nation signs the World Peace Treaty, these technologies are given in exchange for peace. And it's a game changer for planet Earth and for humanity and all the creatures that are present. And the creatures, remember, aren't just the physical ones, aren't just the human beings. We have our vertical friends, which is the plants, which is the trees. And in this environment on planet Earth, they all have a soul. And this CO2 production is in balance with the way that they produce the environment and create the environment that we then breathe as humanity. So when we receive this this plasmatic condition and we breathe it in and then we breathe it out, we are giving to the environment instead of just taking. And we're creating a beautiful condition that will bring many health benefits to many creatures, many souls, in the physical form as well as in the plasmatic condition. And remember, these waters, these ganses, gas in a nano-solid state, have been produced by the knowledge seekers and put into all the rivers and the seas and oceans around planet Earth already. So from an atom to a universe, this elevation has already taken place on planet Earth. Then we have the next stages where we have the elevation of the soul of the man, and many souls are present with the Universal Council, with the Earth Council, with the core team of the Foundation, and the knowledge seekers have become very powerful on planet Earth because they've understood the implications of the power of the soul of the man, and they've started to implement and work with this technology, and they are creating conditions that the seed has been set, the seed of intention, the seed of change is present now in this moment, and it's enhancing the elevation of all the souls. So you could have the soul of an automobile, you could have the soul of a leaf, you could have the soul of an ant, the soul of H2O, an oxygen or whatever, a hydrogen. Everything has a soul. And so this technology is being brought forward on planet Earth. There's no going back. The process has started. The process has started. So, and as I've said earlier, this is a very giving situation. And in China, they've embraced the technology, and their citizens and all the creations that spawn from it will be in the correct way, and they will create a beauty. And this will gradually increase around the planet. Mr. Keshe always said, if one takes this technology, then the others will have no choice. It's just a matter of time. And time does not exist in the universe. So, be the beauty, connect with this technology, and experience the beauty of it. Really is that simple. I don't know, Mark or Rick, if you'd like to add anything to what I've just said. Thank you.
Not really, Dean. I think that was quite complete. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Yes, I was about to say the same thing, Mark. And people can have a look at Mr. Keshe's X site. Let me put the link in their chats here. And it'd be good if you can go to his posts and you can like the post with the little heart thing and add to the likes, which is always good for adding to the credibility of the post in a way. And you can also go to the replies of Mr. Keshe, which are quite interesting, and you'll see in the replies the one we covered today with the new scientists. And if you scroll down, you'll see a reply to Elon Musk about how the Starship can reach Mars in 6 months, every 26 months when the planets align. And Mr. Keshe responds to that about some things about the space cosmic ray technology, and goes on with other comments from different sites and so on. So if you can go through and give a heart to the response from Mr. Keshe, again, that's helpful. Or put in a comment or some other reference to an excerpt from the Knowledge Seekers workshop, or from some other reference that you can send to help support Mr. Keshe on his endeavors in connecting on the X platform. And he, wishes to connect with people like Elon Musk and perhaps politicians and so on at certain points, and be able to introduce them to the plasma technology and offer it as an alternative to our current rather destructive technologies, as we can see with Elon Musk's SpaceX rockets, which the latest, was it Starliner, whatever it's called, has unfortunately had self-destruction at a certain point when it was launched. And that's happened several times in a row now with his largest rocket. And maybe he's thinking about alternatives. I'm sure all the astronauts that are destined to go on those rockets are thinking of alternatives. Maybe they would like to know about the UFO technology and be able to appreciate that and develop it and use it for peaceful purposes, for exploration. I mean, that's kind of what it's all about. So hopefully, and more than hopefully, definitely, we're moving toward that objective. Go ahead, Mark.
Are we all going to be buying new cars, Rick, or do you think there'll be a function to retrofit perhaps an old car that you've saved in the garage or in the backyard that doesn't work anymore? Perhaps we'll have a number of retrofitting these small spheres into the correct position and the instruction on how to interact. That could be another whole industry there. Many people don't have the available funds to, even though it'll be reduced, as Dean said, the no fueling and no batteries and the wheels and the rest. It still may be easier to retrofit it into something you have. There may be some techniques or specialties involved in that. That could be another whole industry, or maybe you don't even need a car. Perhaps we could affix it to a couch or a cardboard box. I know he had mentioned that to John.
Humans will put it on anything they can, just to experience it, perhaps. And that's true. That could be a whole new industry, and we'll have the modern versions with all the special amenities that come with the modern production processes and whatnot. But we could also resurrect the old school units, and in the same way that right now there's in the last years, people have been taking some of the old cars with their stinky engines and replacing them with electric motors, which are way more powerful and way more clean. And then you have the sort of the beauty of the old car without the negative effects of asphyxiating your neighbors and whatnot. And we move toward plasma and these levitating reactors, like Mark was saying, and it's a whole new world. I'd be happy to do retrofits that way. It'd be great fun, especially if we can make them into. You can make your old Dodge car into a flying car. But do we want flying cars and flying couches and flying old Dodge cars and so on around, flying around in our world? That'll be debatable.
And of course, these cars, as he had mentioned before, or drones, I think he had referred to drones. I know Modi is working in that area. That as they cross each other and as they interact, they'll be creating different fields, I believe, perhaps for the elevation of the soul or other things. So we're using the system in a way to beat the system, not only with the CO2, but I'm sure there's multiple benefits from these cars, not only without generating the power for the electric cars, but again, reducing the CO2, but also creating environmental fields. And again, I don't know if that's possible, but I know we talked about feeding, and I think these cars could actually have a feeding option on them where you say the children say they're hungry. We don't have to go to McDonald's. We'll just turn on the feeding system and see if we're satisfied.
Well, they'll definitely have field interactions, and they'll have to prove that they're actually beneficial rather than negative effects. It's no use having a flying car if it's equivalent of having the microwave door open with the microwave on or something. You can't have people under adverse fields. So it'll have to be proven and shown that the interacting fields are creating a beneficial effect for people, which should be fairly simple to prove. We've been proving it for many years with many reactors at this point. And you don't hear about interactions that are particularly undesirable. In fact, with all the tens of thousands of testimonials we've run across over the last 10 years or more, I don't think there's been any negative interactions. There might be some interactions that don't produce effects that you can feel, but that would be about the worst that can happen. So it's a giving, beneficial type technology, as Mark mentioned. So many ways that things could go beneficial in the future with all of the aspects of the plasma ray technology.
Rick, it would be interesting. We know that the likes of some very prominent scientists in the past have delivered their wisdom, and humanity has embraced what they said and created all sorts of technologies based and beliefs based around what they've said. We know Mr. Keshe has, for many, that many people say he has certain theories yet to be proven. However, we know as knowledge seekers, we've been touched by this technology, and we know that it's present. We know the power of it, and I personally know that anything, literally anything, could be turned into a condition of an automobile. Anything could be positioned, gravitationally, magnetically, very easily. So if this would change everything, if the technology is accepted, if Mr. Keshe was brought forward, as we know that China has given Mr. Keshe an award once that was a very prestigious award. That's only given to, I think it's been given to one other person, one or two other people. And they openly gave it to Mr. Keshe a long time ago. Because they realized what the implications of what's being shared across the planet is. And if we could just realize as a group of souls that if we embrace this technology, we really accept it, it will give more back to you, whatever it is you need. If you have 1 trillion, if that makes you happy, have 10 trillion. This is the position. So The only way that it would be of a negative effect would be if you need to take more energy and more and steal more and more. Whereas if you are given everything you need and given more and more, this changes the condition. Then what are you fighting for? What are you fighting? What do you want? Then it's got nothing to do with what you physically need. It's an emotion where I need to control you through my emotion. And I've reached a position to be able to do that. But I need to keep that position by using arms or using another, arms in many different ways, whether it's speech, interaction of the thoughts or their physical action. And this is where Mr. Keshe's technology, the Universal Council, come into play, because they are using the interaction of the soul. This is higher than the physical matter. So when you're interacting and giving to the soul, you're creating a new condition where the soul of the physicality has to shift, has to move. And this position has already taken place on planet Earth. This goes into the other aspects of the cosmic rays, which we're all part of. And it's present here. Me personally, I know a tiny fraction of some of this knowledge. But I do know that with Mr. Keshe's integrity and skill and his beauty, that ball there, if he so wished, could do practically anything, because it's the soul intention from the creation point. And so at the matter point, this could be an atom or it could be a universe. It makes no difference. That's the power of the technology, and that's the gift that's been shared to humanity. And Mr. Keshe always said, if a gift is being presented, you should receive it. You should receive it. So, cosmic rays, that's the next evolution forward for humanity. And if we think of a cosmic ray, it could be part of an automobile, because it's part of every living soul structure, atom, present. And so once you elevate, that position, then then you'll create a condition where you can be at any time, place, and position that you choose. And this is the ones that the governments are starting to have a problem with, because then there is no border anymore. And as Rick put on the screen, you become the captain of your own ship. You receive everything you need. Then the governments and the communities have to act responsibly in a certain way that is giving. It's not taking for the individual or for a few. It's giving to the structure, to create a condition of wealth for each and every one of us. And Mr. Keshe has always said, and this is the beauty of what Mr. Keshe always says, the wealth is within me. It's not a physical thing. That's the soul of the man, and that is the soul of the Universal Council, and that is the soul of all these beautiful souls that are present listening right now. You. And thank you for being present. Thank you, Rick.
Okay, thank you, Dean. Okay, we need to move on now to the next thing, which is, there's an excerpt from the 593rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop to play. And I believe this is regarding the June session for the Fly with the Captains. Let's see here, 103.20. Just a minute here while I try to get my fine tuner tuning in. It's close enough. Okay, we should be able to see and hear that, I believe. And this is about a 5-minute excerpt. Okay, bear with me a minute. It's not playing yet, so I need to restart it. Okay, I think we have it set up now.
With transmutation, the process I'm still trying to understand. So from the position to position, physicality to energy, and then from energy back to physicality. Is that how it works? Or you can go from physicality to physicality from another position? Or is it?
It's a trick. Not a trick, it's understanding. It's absolutely understanding. And this is how, with the headphones, we're trying to get that shortcut of understanding. The problem which we're trying to resolve, hopefully in the next sessions, is to let the knowledge seekers understand when they transmute. At the moment, knowledge seekers, oh, I went there. You have to understand the process. How we create the environment and you go through the process. And how many of you locked out or lock yourself out of this position. You can hold the physicality, but do the rapid balance with the energy side of the time, that the time becomes zero, for example, from London to New York. It's a skill. It's like a driving. You have to learn how to handle the steering wheel.
Yeah.
And many of you who bought the what do you call it? What I call the lucky bag, the
mystery bag.
mystery pack, will receive as part of it. You know, these are €500 sessions. We deliberately have put a number of these packages that you join the transmutation system. In a way, this is part of the mystery pack. Some of you will receive this gift that what it costs now €500 for a session. You join us, and in that session, when you get these gift packs, you receive your gift packs of the sessions by email. The what I call the hard part of it, the physical part of the pieces, will come by post. This is just finalizing past 24 hours, 48 hours. And we saw it as the best way to introduce knowledge seekers who have never been through transmutation to be part of it, to get the feel of it. And some of you will join us in June, and some of you will join us in July. And it's to see how you stand, how you face the process. We have allocated a very large number to knowledge seekers for the July and June session. This was part of the gift, even though you receive other, what do you call it, the pillows and jetpacks and the rest of it. This is part of that process to introduce you how to, is a gift to how to connect the solar physicality with the physicality.
Yeah, okay.
You can stay, what do you call, in a physical dimension, but not a position. You still hold on to the place, which is your physicality. What do you call it, in your position, which is your physicality, and then you change the parameter of the position, which is by bringing in different field strength to change the place. In a way, you stand on one leg, connecting to the rope of the time, and you switch over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And this needs training. This needs understanding.
Okay, all right. Now, with another question with the donations, there is it on the website? I know that I have some details that I've put money through before, so I'll just use the same.
The only channel now is through our accounts through Revolut. We have brought everything into one account, the international account.
Okay, that's our excerpt from the 593rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop. We'll go back to our presentation. And I don't know if we're supposed to discuss this or move into transmutation, perhaps. We should probably mention, I guess, the...
No, it's the transmutation time. Thank you.
Okay, great. And I believe Moshfek will be available for this.
Okay. I thought there was another one. It's about the UFO translation, video translation. Wasn't there one?
No, as I put a comment in the chat, we won't be doing that today. We have to wait for clearance from the Keshe Foundation, okay. Mr. Keshe.
So in the introduction, Dean talked a little bit about a very physical side of transmutation. There was that application of a water spray, with some problems in the leg, and eventually the problem disappeared in a reasonably short period of time. So the interesting thing is this short period of time. So in a way, if nothing had been done to that leg, it would have stayed. So that condition, the existence of that condition, the time period of existence of this condition was deliberately shortened by the effect of the water. Now, so was it a transmutation? Did it involve time? So knowing what we know about these cans water, Now, can we take this understanding and knowledge? And so that was a new, in a way, you can call it a new progress, a new level of enlightenment for all of us involved in Keshe Foundation. We can use these water to handle several conditions in our body. So would you call it an enlightened state? Because it wasn't, this understanding wasn't present before. And it was not, at the beginning, it was kind of like, is it really working? I'm not sure. And all kinds of questions and doubts and everything was there for, a period of time for many people. But as we applied it over, that understanding became something definite. And we now know, call it an enlightened state, because we are no longer just developing our understanding. We have reached a point. We call it an enlightened state. So the reason I'm talking about understanding and enlightenment is that in transmutation, how do we connect these things together? So as we know, by the way, you may hear some rumbling noise in the background. That is the sound of enlightenment. I mean, this is the sound of, thunder and all that. So perhaps it's appropriate that we have this in the background as I talk about enlightenment. So we know now that, time in the manifested form and the physicality is dependent on the place, position, and possession. And this is the manifested part of it. And then there is the energy side of it. So we have this emotion that exists in this manifested state. And then there is emotion that's there in the energy state. So are these two emotions connected? Are they the same? So this is something for us to explore and understand. So we have names for emotions that are the physical level. Not all of it, but some of it that are more commonly known to us, and we talk about these things. Now, these emotions connect to the other emotions, the emotions starting at the level of soul of man. So these two kind of emotions are not separate, they're linked, but because of our educational system, we are unfamiliar with this energy level of emotion. You can call it unnamed emotions, feelings. We have very vague words for it. Like if we say the word joy, if we say the word happiness. But sometimes Mr. Keshe referred to these things as with emotions with colors, because we don't have a way to differentiate these kind of, shall we call it, nebulous emotions. But it's not nebulous as such, but it's a sort of vague understanding of it. So as we develop the precision, then we can use it more tactfully. So this is where, the understanding, so we have some understanding of, let's say, what joy is, happiness is, and things like that. But it's a very elementary level understanding, in a sense. And as we explore our soul's capability of, let's say, manifestation, changing things in our physicality that we wish to, then we see that, well, yeah, I would like to do this, but there is a certain specific feeling, emotion related to this particular outcome in our particular operation, the speed in which it operated. You see the time coming into operation. So, and the kind of feeling and the kind of time factor involved, if we have a certain emotion, certain feeling, then we see it doesn't take very long at all. And sometimes, in some cases, when we are not able to do it, we are not accessing that time factor anymore, and it's staying there. And so we are not able to reduce the existence of this particular health or physical situation because we don't have access to that time factor. It's operating in its own time and it's existing. Our emotion effect is no longer there. So we have to have something more than just a certain level of an understanding. You know, in an application of these water, we have GANS water for a while, but you have to be very specific. It's an application. It's not like you just, you have a leg pain and you drink water, nothing happens, of course. We know how it works. So, we have to have this enlightened state where our understanding has developed to the point it has reached a certain stage. And that's when the enlightenment, there are small enlightenment happening all the time in us. But before that, it's kind of like a little on the shaky ground. We can sometime do it, sometime not, and all that. But enlightenment is the point where we have this certainty that this is the emotion, this is our feeling, this is the level of intelligence we have to use to reach this point. And these are things that come with practice. If we think about like people we can call intelligent, and somebody who does very well, let's say in school, it doesn't come without effort. They have their own effort of their own kind, but there is some effort into it to develop that intelligence. They may possess some to start with, but in order for it to unfold, it needs practice and preparation. If there is no practice or application of it, how would we call a person intelligent? So that intelligence, together with experience that comes from the practice, we reach a point, which is the enlightened state. And this is where we have some inkling of what time, how we can operate with time to make something change. At one level, it can be cancer situation. It goes away in a very short period of time. We have seen this happen to several knowledge seekers work, and some through the enhancement unit, and some happened very quickly. So there was assistance involved, let's say with enhancement unit, but it's an assistance, but the engagement had to come from the soul level of that person. Some effort had to be there, the intention, all that had to be there. The feeling of getting to that point, it was there, or the emotion. So it's a process that requires familiarity, and it is not something we are born with. It's a learning process, and that's where the fun is. And we can start with little things in physicality. Our knee pain, let's say. Start with something like that, something simple. And if we don't do it, okay, I'm missing something here, and then try to see what am I what can I add to it so that we can reach that point where the pain has I can set the time for the pain to stop. See, we are essentially determining the time span of existence of this particular manifestation. And when we talk about intelligent people in school, sometimes intelligence people comes with they have a certainty that, yeah, I can solve this problem, it's easy. And we call that person smart. But if the person is, because of whatever situation, that person has the attitude that, well, it's not possible for me to solve, we call them the dumb student. But really, is that person less intelligent if that person had put in the effort with the what do you call it, initial wish that I will achieve it, I will do it, and I will do it in no time. In a very short time, I'll be able to solve this problem. See, we have to start. If we start with the intention or the assumption that we can't do it, yeah, we can't do it because we don't even start engaging the fields. So part of our learning process in the Keshe Foundation is we can change the time. So this is the first, if we don't even know, or even we are not even at the point where to start, how would we reach the finishing? So this is a very different way of looking at it in a very simple term, but a very definite way. There is no ifs and buts. We can transmute. Yes, we can transmute. What is the, and then, okay, let's see. Okay, so that's kind of like a level of intention. Now, how do we, go about doing it? Once we are certain, the rest of it can be done. So that's the beauty of, participation in Knowledge Seekers Workshop, also this meeting. We see examples of people able to achieve something, and through that we are encouraged. Yes, this person is just like me. We can do it. So the emotion that comes with this can-do attitude, we can see, if you go to the plasma reactor group, you can see some people showing this attribute. And yeah, we can do it. And they go about conducting experiments. Sometimes it takes time to reach the effort and time because the understanding is not there. There are certain elements that needs to be in place. And then all of these things, when they come together, that person reaches an enlightened state where new things can be achieved. And this is yes, enlightened. Once we reach the enlightened state, we essentially can't go back. Is it a burden? No, not really. It's a different state. You can even driving is another example. Once you know how to drive, you know how to drive. But all kinds of coordination have to happen for the driving to work. So the enlightenment is, I'm making enlightenment very mundane, but the level of capacity one can reach is enormous. And the possibility, we're exposed to the possibility through the Knowledge Seekers Workshop and other gatherings we have of knowledge seekers. So it's a very different way of going about doing things, in the sense that we are looking at capabilities, advanced capabilities through science, where we can conduct our own experiments. We are at liberty to conduct our own experiments. And it's not some person we don't know who gave us a formula that we cannot verify. We can verify these things ourselves with our understanding of the material side of things as well as the energetic side of things. And we can move between the two. It's not some book formula written in the book which doesn't have a proof. We have the formula. We have to conduct the experiment to make the formula a reality, not in terms of mathematical symbol, but in terms of the symbols, what we call emotion. So the science and the math is there. The math is our emotion. And this is a very odd way of saying it because, you know, if we tell people who do math that the formula is in the emotion, we write it within us. And once we know the formula, or once we know the emotion, the experiment will work out. It's that easy. So this is the science of physicality or material world and the energy world. And we have the formula. And it's not found in any book. It's something we ourselves discover. And it is there to be discovered. And wish you the very best with your journey of discovery. Thank you very much. And we shall meet again.
I got a question, please.
Go ahead.
So let's, from what you just said, if mathematical formula, like we know, it's always goes with increase, decrease, subtraction, division, basically addition and subtraction, increase. I relate that, like you said, emotions as strength, field strength. So it's all dynamic. And mathematical formula goes in electronics. Either you hit it, it goes high energy, low energy. So it makes sense to have the emotions as the formula, like you called it the formula, because that's what we can control. Now, to use a physical application, if I have a neck pain, that is a period of existence of the pain that I have on the neck. So would you consider that time period of the pain is already established, is created out of that emotions, which is the field strength, the possession. Now, what is the position? Because I look at the position of my body, but what is the position in that sense, in that application? Since I'm already established, my neck pain is an existence. Existence of that pain is a time period, so it's already established. But if I had to change that pain, what is my position? Where am I moving it? What is the position? Because I already know that the possession is the field strength, which is the emotion, which I can increase or decrease to create a new existence of no pain. But where is my position in that application?
Okay, the place is your neck, obviously, and the manifestation or the position is the pain. And there are several fields associated with it, which is accessed from the possession. Possession is a field strength, a collection of field strength, and you have your environmental condition and your bodily condition access that particular field strength in the possession, and that manifested as the pain. So you have all this factor, which is all pre-existing. What you are doing is you are setting up a new, the location is the same. You are accessing a field where the pain is no longer there. So that's your position, new position, no pain. And your pain to no pain has, some seconds associated with some time associated, and you are setting that up. So you are accessing another point in this possession field to create the new condition. So this is so the position, and it's not our physical body anymore. We are operating at a different scale of the neck and some condition at the neck level, which is manifested as pain. I hope that makes sense.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So basically, my new position is no pain, but not a relocation. Because I was thinking, where could that pain be relocated at? And that would be my new. So that's my position. My new position is no pain. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
I could give a practical example of that I've talked about in the past, where I had a toothache on the lower left part of my mouth, and it was getting quite intense. And of course, the more you think about it and the more you identify with it, the stronger it gets and so on. So it was quite intense, and it was fully taking my attention, you could say. So I did an experiment where I totally focused on that tooth and that pain. And then I, with my attention, pulled the pain to the next tooth beside it, and then to the tooth beside it, and moved the pain from the left side of my mouth to the right side. And when I did that, I realized that I had control over my pain because I changed the place of the pain. But through that movement of changing the place where the pain was, it also changed my position. It made me actually laugh out loud and smile that wow, I'm able to change the position of the pain. And because I realized I had that control over the pain, it made me laugh. It was like my essence kicked in, and the soul says, of course you can control your pain. And it's interesting that changing the position, voluntary or place of the pain rather, can change our possession point, you could say, our point of reference. And it was no longer in pain after that, because it was just laughable that if I can move it around, why would I even bother having it? So you can disappear it once you transfer it to another part of the body and realize that.
I mean, this is an interesting thing. I mean, the Rick's experience, we can go a little bit into it, because in the sense that what he did is that he playfully gathered an experience. So in order to develop the certainty that, well, pain is under my control. But it has, it was done in a fun way. And that was the experiment. He set up an experiment to develop that understanding. I mean, when the pain happened, I'm sure Rick didn't think that way, but once it was over, it was a great experience. So this kind of opportunity arises in our life, and it's up to us to make this an enlightenment, which Rick did. by conducting his experiments. This is exactly the point I was pointing out earlier. And it's a very good example because, you know, we need some excitement and drama in our experiment. And Rick had his own. And it won't be the same. I won't have the same one, but, you know, we can make, any of us can make it fun that way. Anything else?
Thank you, my dear Moshfik. Beautifully explained the road to enlightenment. Really, it's so much simple, if we say so. But you know, in the childhood we see the moon, and my father used to tell a poetry. Now we understand how it is and the position. This is one step forward in the road to enlightenment. So much physically we can attain that, and so much in the spiritual, so much in the soul. So peace plus love is equal to an enlightenment indeed. Mathematics formula. Thank you. Thank you so much, my dear. Thank you. Needs and wishes, dear beautiful soul. And welcome, Dean.
Oh, yeah, thank you, Sweta. Yeah, of course I can read this needs and wishes. Okay. So we, the Universal Council, wish peace is restored in Romania.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the souls of our brothers and sisters of India and Pakistan for peace and enlightenment now.
We,
the Universal. Oh.
Go ahead, Sweta. Sorry, go ahead.
No, please, welcome.
Why don't you both do it together? I thought it started quite well.
So we both do it together, Dean?
You can try, Sweta, but yeah. So we, the Universal Council, give through our souls that Russia and Ukraine can find peace for the sake of all the families of the planet.
Can find peace for the sake of all the families of the planet. Your presence, my dear.
I was thinking you both do it both together, like that's the way you started.
Yes,
You said we at the same time, and it would be
yes.
nice, but that was good.
And next time we'll want the better performance.
A duo,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah,
A duet,
Yes.
rather.
Hello.
Yes, my dear.
Can I next little word, please?
Oh, yeah,
We,
welcome.
we, the Universal Council, wish peace is restored in Colombia now.
We are Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much.
Thank
We are here. Oh, thank you, my dear. Thank you. We are here to serve, not to be served. Beautiful souls, beautiful souls. And welcome again. Welcome. Suswagatam into the beautiful beauty and totality of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome into the all lovely souls, all hearts full of love in Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome to all souls in existence in here in Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization, and follow, jump, and the next X factor now. So X platform, join, please do, and welcome, dear beautiful souls, as we are all knowledge seekers. So these are steps one by one in the path of light and enlightenment, dear beautiful souls. Now we can see the moon clearly. Thank you so much, my dear beautiful souls. So the Universal Council. Salam, namaste, salute God for being present here always. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you, Shweta, and thank you to all the members and support members of the Universal Council for presenting today's 382nd One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace. And we'll bring today's June 10th show to a close now, and thank our audience for participating as well. And I'll announce that our next public teaching workshop is the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which starts at 7 a.m. Central European Time on June 11th, on Wednesday. And it's open to members of the public who would like to discuss things of the plasma nature, or if you have something you'd like to show, or some experiments you're running, that would be a good place to do so. And of course, we have the Knowledge Seekers Workshop coming up on the 12th on Thursdays at the usual 9 a.m. Central European Summertime with Mr. Keshe. Okay, I think that's it. Other than
Okay, let's have some dance.
our little ending ditty here. So
Dance, dance. Enjoy. Enjoy.
let's do the song and dance. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Shweta, for your
Thank you, my
enthusiastic
dear.
end to our show here. Okay, everyone. Bye for now.